Hello, everybody. Hello. Good morning. It's Thursday, April 28th, 2022, and my name's Jennifer Cotton. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas, and that means I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, and more with stamps, ink, paper, and lots of cool tools. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Sue Z on YouTube. Good morning you are in sunny Green Bay, Wisconsin. She was the first comment I saw this morning. Hey, Stella. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Terry. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you guys here. Thank you for being here. Like I said, my name's Jennifer Cotton, and I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years now. And so this is my full-time job. I do Facebook Lives every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central. And thank you, Linda. Good morning, Pat. And good morning, Linda, by the way. I do Facebook Lives every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Central. And then I do this as a full-time job. So I offer tons of events that you can participate in. All are offered to go where you stamp at home with your own inks and stamps, with PDF tutorials and supplies. And some are offered in person. But today I'm going to be making 3 cards with the Artfully Layered Bundle. I love this bundle from our current mini catalog. So we have a big annual catalog that lasts a full year, and then we have 2 catalogs a year that last 6 months each. Hey, Linda, good morning. Good to see you. Tammy over on YouTube. Hello, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, Tammy. I see a Facebook user. Good morning. And I found out that Facebook user means you just need to give StreamYard permission to show your name. So if you want to do that, there's a link to that in this video description. That's on Facebook, I believe. Ramona, good morning. Karen, good morning. Linda, good morning. Nancy, hello. Hey, Helen, good to see you. And Susan, good morning. Good to see everybody today. Good morning, Martha. Hello. Okay, so I'll be making 3 cards. I don't remember if I said 3 or 4, but 3 with that Artfully Layered Bundle. I was talking about the catalog. So that's in our mini catalog, which is currently still a current catalog. This is, of course, all online in the online store, all the products in here. But next month, at the end of the month, the products that are not going to carry over will be while supplies last from this catalog. So this one lasts until June, and then July we get our holiday and fall catalog from Stampin' Up! That will last 6 months. And then our annual catalog is about to end as well. It does last a year, but that year is about to end. So this one ends on May 2nd, and May 3rd, our new catalog starts. So if you go to the online store, of course, it just shows you what you can order now. That's easy. But if you're looking at paper catalogs, you've got to see what's current, what's not. And then the annual catalog is in the retiring phase. So a lot of stuff is going to retire and some of it is sold out. So, but Artfully Layered is in that mini catalog. So it's currently still available, still a current product. However, it will be retiring. So in May 25th, it will be while supplies last. So I hope you're going to like the cards I make today with that. If you would like to win those cards, to have a chance to win, just comment on this video on YouTube or Facebook. Your comments help me, so thank you very much. And as a thank you, you'll be entered to win those 3 cards. In addition, if you share the video on either platform, just comment that you shared, because we will not know otherwise if you don't comment, basically shared or I shared or whatever. We won't know because Facebook and YouTube keep that information private. So that will get you entered a second time. Of course, again, both of those help me in my business. So thank you very much for that. Let's see here. Another Facebook morning. It says, it's me. I still don't know who you are, but thumbs up. Good morning. I'm trying to see if that's a thumbs up or a different emoji. It's hard for my eyesight. Sherry, good morning. Pam, hello. Thanks for sharing, Pam. Bonnie, I keep making it where I can't see these. Rhonda, Landa, good morning. Already been talking to Landa this morning. She's been helping me with some mistakes I made. Joni, good to see you, Joni. Shirley, Jen, Denise in Colorado. Terry, what is my favorite retiring bundle? Good question, Terry. I have to think about that. Shirley, oh, thank you, Shirley. 1.3. I believe it was 1.3. Thank you, Shirley. Very nice of you to comment on that. Denise, thanks for sharing. Janet, good morning in North Carolina. Ramona shared. Thank you very much. Cindy, good morning. Shirley shared. Thank you. And Diane, good morning. Okay, so I'm going to jump in and give you guys information about my upcoming events. I do lots of them. Every event I offer is going to include a PDF tutorial. We're going to cut, die cut, punch, emboss, everything we possibly can. Now you will cut your own designer paper, no problem, Shirley. I have to check it because now you're making me not be sure. I mean, that's not your fault, but my poor memory. We cut, die cut, punch, but if designer paper is included, then yes, 1.3, I checked it. We don't cut that. So you will cut that yourself with the instructions. And then, but I do have 3 classes every month that are also offered in person or where you can check out those supplies from me and stamp at your home. And those are card, scrapbook, Stamp-A-Stack, and sampler class. I have gone ahead and picked out the stamps I'm using for next month or bundles. And they are, well, first of all, those classes are May 21st in person. If you choose to have them mailed, they get mailed on May 23rd. In person is in DeSoto, Texas. And again, you can also check out the supplies from me and stamp that stuff at your house, but with my stamps, ink, etc. So those are the dates. You'll want to register for card and scrapbook by May 19th, and those kits are while supplies last. Card class is 4 cards using the Uniquely Artistic Bundle. I think that's a bundle. Is it a bundle? I'm going to look. Page 114. I don't know why I'm thinking that's not a bundle. It's from the new catalog, so I cannot show you the inside of the new catalog. That's not a bundle. That's a stamp set. I didn't think it was a bundle. I obviously copied and pasted. Uniquely Artistic stamp set, which I don't have, but a lot of demonstrators have that set already. And I don't have it yet, I should say, obviously. And what am I trying to say? Everyone can order it May 3rd. I can order it now, but I just haven't ordered it yet. And then I'm also going to use, because it doesn't have words, the Charming Sentiments bundle on page 38. So if you have your new catalog, page 114 and 38, 4 cards, $15 free with a $20 order. And then scrapbook class is 3 12 by 12 pages, $15 free with a $20 order. And there's a special host code for that. You get it when you register for these classes. So those pages, we're going to do page 2 of our birthday pages, which I think are super cute. I don't have them here right now to show because they're in those tubs being where people can check out the supplies from me. But we'll make page 2 of that birthday page. And then we're going to use the Your Biggest Fan bundle, but in a different way, not with the sports themed stuff. We're going to use that bundle. It's on page 69 of the mini catalog. So we're just using the stamps and dies. And we're going to use some new designer paper from the new catalog that's masculine. I've shown it in my haul video to make 2 masculine pages. They can be Father's Day. They don't have to be Father's Day. But here's the Your Biggest Fan. It's in that mini catalog. It's going to be retiring. It's not officially retiring yet. So we'll use the stamps and dies over here, but not with the sports paper. So it's just going to be more generic masculine. So it's an idea I saw from another demonstrator who's a friend of mine, and it's very cool. So that's scrapbook class. Let me catch up here. Diane, good morning. And thank you for sharing. Facebook user shared. Woohoo. You might want to type your name in there so I can see. Let me just show y'all how it looks for me. And it may look different on your end, because I know when I watch other people's videos, sometimes it doesn't show me people's comments at all, but I see their name and that they made a comment and all kinds of weird stuff. So that's what I'm seeing though. Mary, good morning. Hey, Margie, good to see you. Charlotte, good morning. And Janet, good morning. And thanks for sharing. Okay. So that's card and scrapbook, 15 free with a $20 order. And then the other two classes are Stamp a Stack and Sampler. They are both clubs you can join. Why not join the club? It's the same exact price as not joining the club, but after 6 consecutive months, you get $25 in free merchandise of your choice from me. But yes, you can cancel anytime. So Sampler is the 12 by 12 artwork. I'll just show you this, one of the recent ones. That you can frame if you like, which most people do, provide your own frame. It's 12 by 12. And of course we cut, die cut, punch, etc. You stamp and assemble with the PDF tutorial. And that class is $28 and includes over 20 in merchandise. So for that class, we're using the new Best Butterflies bundle on page 37 of the new annual catalog. Sorry. So I can't show it yet, but if you have the catalog, which most people do by now, you can view it there. By the way, if you don't have the new catalog and you are my customer, let me know. I'll see if I mailed you one. And if not, I can mail you one now. Or if you're local, they're here to be picked up. So just let me know. And then Stamp a Stack is 12 cards for $30, includes over 20 in merchandise. And we're using the He's All That bundle, which is on page 79. It's a new masculine bundle. I do have that one here, but I can't access it right now. I didn't think about pulling it. It's really good though. It's like not just like only about cars or only about tools or something like that, which I think can be limiting on our masculine sets. Okay, so those are the 4 classes. There will be links to register for those in today's 1 p.m. Central Time email if you want. And so if you're not on my email list, join it in the video. There's links in Facebook and YouTube. There's links right now. Let's see. Kim, good morning. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Susan, thanks for sharing. Jennifer, good morning. Good to see you. I'll be seeing some of you guys on Saturday as well when I do a live in our private group for our Friendly Hello class. Excited about that. I'm actually prepared. Shocker. Although Landa sent me some corrections on the instructions I made this morning, so I emailed those corrections out this morning. But Alejandra and I are excited about that class on Saturday. Okay, so those are the monthly classes. Of course, I also have upcoming the Retreat in a Box. You need to get on this if you want to register because the deadline is May 1st. And the class, today is the 28th. So basically you have until, I believe, Sunday to register for the Retreat in a Box. We're going to use the Hues of Happiness suite. It's amazing. You're going to get 12 make and takes, an exclusive bag, pillow gifts, $50 in merchandise. If you need the bundle, it's not included with the fee, but you can add it on when you register or supply your own or substitute stamps. And then within that class, within the retreat, I should say, you can take the Sun Prints Stamp a Stack class. That's my class. I'm designing 12 cards, 3 designs, 4 of each. You're going to get over 35 in merchandise. And then April, my retreat partners class is the He's the Man class, which is the same suite I'm using for my Stamp a Stack, the He's All That. And she does awesome projects. You're going to love them. You're going to get treat bags and cards with that class. And again, over 35 in merchandise. So for those classes, you can register only for retreat, only for Jennifer's class, only for April's class, or any mix you like. Here is the Hues of Happiness. The bundle is called Happiness Abounds. So that's the bundle we'll be using for the retreat make and takes. It's gorgeous. And then a sneak peek of all of the projects, left a part off, you'll be making. Tons of cards this time, even more than normal, I think. Full-size cards. Although this back one is not a card, it's a bag, which I don't have the bags yet. We can order on May 3rd. A sampler, gorgeous sampler. It's so pretty in person. I think it looks busy in photos, but in person it looks gorgeous. And then 2 12 by 12 pages. So I think you're going to really like it. And I recommend you register for Retreat in a Box by May 1st. And then let me put this over here. I have a sneak peek of my class. I don't have a sneak peek of April's class, but you already know it's going to be good. Again, you're going to make 12 cards. I have like some of them here with the Sun Prints, which is the Nature's Prints stamp set. You provide your own stamps, so you can add those on when you register if you like. The bundle, so there's the dies, and that gorgeous Sun Prints 12 by 12 designer paper. So pretty. I went through this on my haul video if you want to go check it out. I went through the paper, I should say. Okay, so that's that class. Those classes are $45 each, and then they include $35 in merchandise. So you're literally only paying $10 for all of the designing and cutting and PDF tutorials we're doing for you. So they're really good deals. And really, you're paying less because the $35 is before tax and shipping. So it's basically like you're buying the supplies and getting all those projects for free. Okay. That was Retreat. Register by May 1st. Your kit will be mailed by May 20th. And the link to that will be in the email today at 1 o'clock. And then Jen and Jen Stamp Camp. I have a friend named Genevieve, so we call it the Jen and Jen Stamp Camp. And we are using the Cup of Tea bundle. This is an awesome new suite of products in the new catalog that uses all of the new in colors. I did add to my registration that you can add on the 5 new ink pads when you register if you want, if you need them and want to do it that way. There's many other ways to get your products. Anyway, this class includes over 40 in merchandise, 10 projects, a gift, and an exclusive Facebook group where we'll do a Facebook party on, let's see if I have my dates here. It's June. I think it's the first Saturday in June because Genevieve and I will be on a getaway with other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators in Southern Utah in St. George. And we're going to go live, not with our stamping, that'll be pre-recorded, just bonus videos. But we will go live from St. George just to have fun with you guys and say hi and everything. And Genevieve's in Canada, so you can take this class in Canada or the US. I have Genevieve's link. It's going to be in the email. I believe it's in the email. I need to make a note and check that. But you can just get the link from me. It's on my blog, etc. So where's my thing here? Sorry, I need to make the note in the right place. Jen's link in email. Okay, so that's the camp. And then there are bonus classes that you can add on. It's just like the retreat. Take a class, take the camp, take the other class, any mix you want. So I have the Bottled Happiness card class, and Genevieve has the Sweet Songbirds card class. They're both card classes. They both include the stamp set, which you can substitute if you already own. It's within the registration link. You can add on the 2 punches, which are bundled with those stamp sets, the Songbirds and the Bottled Happiness, at the bundle pricing if you want. The reason usually that stuff's optional or you can change it is because you may already own it. You may be planning to buy it, or you may buy it from yourself if you're a demonstrator. Okay, so now the tea projects for the camp that class does not include the bundle, so you can add that on when you register. This is a sneak peek of 5 of the 10 cards. I've seen Genevieve's 5. They're super cute. I just haven't had time to make them myself to be able to show you a sneak peek like this, but they're really cute. You'll get to make all 10 with the class. So Canada and US, you can take that one. And then the Bottled Happiness class. I love these 6 cards you're going to make. I think it's like cobalt glass with these blue bottles here in this class. Anyway, these are 2 of the new in colors, the Orchid Oasis and Starry Sky. So that's my class. And then I've seen Genevieve's cards. Of course, they're super cute with those sweet songbirds but I haven't made them yet, so I don't have them here to show you. But if you're in my email newsletter, when you get the email about the camp, there's a sneak peek photo there. Also join my VIP Facebook group to get those sneak peeks and links and stuff. Okay, so something fell. So that's the camp. And then shares is the next class. So paper and ribbon shares from the new annual catalog. You can register for this now. Alejandra and I are doing this together. We recommend you register by May 1st because May 3rd, we will be ordering who's registered so far, basically. And then if you can register up until May, I'm going to find the paper here, but a later date. We just don't know if Stampin' Up! Will have those back orders. So possibly if you wait to register, something might be on back order. May 15th is that firm deadline, though, like last chance, May 15th. So you can just do the share, which is where you get one sheet of every single new designer paper and specialty paper in the annual catalog. And that is going to be 6 by 12, if it 3 3/4 by 5, which is how that paper comes, or 6 by 6 sheets. And then you can just do the paper. You can also just do the ribbon. I've had some people register only for the ribbon share, 2.5 yards of every ribbon for only $32. That's 27.5 yards of ribbon. But if you really want to maximize this event for only $20 more, you can add on the party. So it's $20 more for the party. You're going to get 12 make and takes, a Facebook party, video instruction for all 12 cards, half by me, half by Alejandra. And you're going to get like door prize entries and all kinds of fun associated with this party that's only $20 extra. So when you register, it's just like all my other stuff. Pick and choose. I only want this, I only want that, or I want it all. You can add on the stamps and bundles we'll be using if you like, which let me see, because for the make and takes, we obviously need to use some stamps. So we always use a bundle and a stamp set. Now you can substitute, any stamps you have if you prefer, but we will be using the Simply Fabulous stamp set and the Charming Sentiments bundle, which are in the mini catalog. In the new annual catalog. Okay, so any questions on any of this? Also, by the way, let me know. Let me catch up here real quick. Debbie, good morning. Hey, Lori, thank you for sharing with your sister-in-law. Shirley says, yes, it's 1.3. So Shirley is within my team. One of my team members shouted me out that I surpassed $1.3 million in sales last week. So thank you to all my customers, because that's how I did it, of course. I'm writing a note because Rhonda says she needs the link. And I did notice you hadn't registered yet, Rhonda, and I was thinking I need to touch base with her before the deadline. Anyway, Shirley, thank you for shouting me out here. But yes, thank you to all my customers. Actually, on the day of the free shipping sale, so last Thursday, I surpassed $1.3 million in career to date sales with Stampin' Up. So thank you, everybody. Let's see, where was I? Shannon, good morning. Carol, good morning. Thanks for sharing. Rhonda, I will get you that link. I wrote myself a note. Sorry, the things keep shifting. Jean, coming in late from North Dakota. No problem. Thank you, Carol. Rhonda, I'll find it for you. It should be in the VIP group. However, I can just send it. Thanks, Susie. Thank you very much. And Jean, thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. Of course, because without my customers, I wouldn't reach 1.3 million. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I wish you lived closer too. Maybe one time you could travel to a retreat, which actually is, I think, the next thing on my list. Yes, so we have retreats coming up. I don't remember if I even have a graphic. No. In person, that weekend retreats that anyone can attend in Temple, Texas, Rockin' Art retreats, May 12th through 15th. You can sign up basically by May 1st. That's our hard deadline to attend in person. It's awesome. You get your own table. You get like it's either a 6 or 8 foot table. I can't remember, but your own table to craft on all weekend. A bed. You might bunk with new friends. That's totally fine. You'll get all your meals, and then you'll get everything I talked about earlier, the $50 goodie bag, the gifts. And of course, we play games at retreat, and we have card swaps that are optional, and it's just a lot of fun. So link to that will be in the 1 o'clock email. That's the May one. And then we also have one you can register for August 11 through 14. So those links are out now. We'll have one coming out soon for next year, for April of next year. Anyway, so that's that. That is a way, though, for our long distance customers, because it's a whole weekend. Some people will fly in and spend the weekend with us. It was 8 feet. Thank you, Susie. I just couldn't remember. She's saying the table is 8 feet, and the place is huge. Like, the facility is huge. So you don't feel all cramped and like people are on top of you at this retreat center. So it's really cool. Thank you, Rhonda. Thanks for sharing, Susie. Facebook user, thank you very much. Thank you, Sandy. So Terry, you keep getting booted off. Darn it. I don't know what's up with technology. Okay, next up, the cruise. We do a crafting cruise every year. April's my retreat partner. She does the those other retreats with me as well. So you have 2 people there. Carol's saying my talking is not synced. I've noticed that the last couple of videos. So probably not just you, Carol. It may be something about maybe I have too many things running on my computer. Like, that's probably on my end. So I apologize for sure. Okay, so the crafting cruise, we do it once a year, right? Currently in January every year. And the next one is January 29th on Allure of the Seas out of Galveston, Texas. It's currently full, but you can get on the wait list. We have about 3 people on the wait list right now. You know, how likely is it you'll get on? I mean, who knows? That's a very far time away. So someone could definitely cancel. Plus, you can use the group rate even if you just want to go on a cruise, or you have friends and family who want to go on a cruise. You do not have to do the crafting portion. It's an additional add-on. So it's awesome, though. Like, the cruises are so fun. Actually, so I'm using Artfully Layered today, and I have, we used that in our last cruise. So I pulled out my bag with all of my cruise stuff in it. It's full. This is the bag everyone received, but it's full of gifts and projects and all that. And I pulled out those Artfully Layered projects to show at the end of this video. But anyway, that's like speaking of cruise, so to say. So the next cruise you can sign up for, there is space, is January 28th through February 4th out of Galveston, Texas, on Harmony of the Seas. And that one's going to Roatan. They're both going to Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, Mexico, and Cozumel, Mexico. So register now. Link will be in the email. Okay, almost done. Paper Pumpkin is our monthly craft kit that you can order to get mailed directly to your house. It's a surprise every month. They give us little clues. So the May kit is celebrating our in colors. So you will use paper and embellishments and things that have all 5 of the new in colors in it. See those embellishments on the screen there. Also, for May only, you'll get a chance to possibly get a golden ticket in your box. And win $25 in free merchandise from Stampin' Up. So that's cool. And in case you don't know what Paper Pumpkin is, besides what I just said, it's literally a box this exact size and shape every month. Sometimes it's decorated differently. That has inside it instructions, full color instructions, a stamp set that cannot be purchased anywhere else. It only comes in that kit, and ink to make all your projects, whatever embellishments they have chosen for this kit, adhesive, which there may be glue dots in here too, I don't know, but you always get like dimensionals and or glue dots. If it's cards, which this May kit will be cards, you always get your envelopes. These are our last month's kit. They were nice decorated envelopes there. And then usually there's like little die cut pieces to punch out and embellish your projects with according to the instructions, or you can go off script. And then the card bases, you'll get your card bases. This month they were really cool, like fun folds basically. Like this one, if we can see it, it has a cutout. You punch out this moon here. Obviously I haven't made mine yet. It's wrapped in tissue paper. It's really cool. So these kits are great for anyone, even if they've never crafted before, because everything you need is in there. The stamps, the adhesive, the instructions, and they're pretty simple, easy projects. So sign up by May 10th, or which is like, when I say sign up, I mean to subscribe by May 10th with the link in this video. Or if you're not a subscription kind of person, you're like, I don't really want to be tied to anything, I want to make a one-time purchase, you can do that. You go to my online store, and which is, of course, I have that link everywhere. You go to shop products, other products, kits - Paper Pumpkin. And that's where you find these pre-paid subscriptions instead of subscribing. If you want to subscribe, though, there's a different link for that in the videos. Okay, so that's Paper Pumpkin. And there you go. Sign up by May 10th or purchase on my website by May 10th. And here's the little flyer about the Celebrating in Color one. Okay. Okay, I'm going to point the camera down now. Yay. Get to go away from my face and make it straight. By the time I put this camera on the stand, I always have so much stuff piled up here that I can't tell if it's straight or not. Like literally, there's too much stuff. So I always have to adjust it after I point it down. Okay, so I'm going to use Artfully Layered today, along with, for one of, I think one card, maybe two, the ocean front. So you'll see how I use that, and I'm using a few extra dies there. Before I jump into that, I just want to remind you of some things with specials going on. So let me see. Of course, if you can still get the starter kit right now and get new product from this annual catalog that doesn't start until May 3rd for customers. But if you are like, I really want to buy some of that stuff Jennifer showed in the haul video at a cheaper price with no obligation to do anything after, that would be get our starter kit, join my team. It's only $99 plus tax and plus tax, free shipping. $99 plus tax only, free shipping. You choose 125 of anything current you want. So anything from the big catalog, anything from the mini, and anything from the pre-order list, which you will see when you go to buy the kit. Also, I can help you with that. But you'll see it in the options there on the, when you order the kit. Or wait till May 3rd, and that's when this catalog starts officially, which is Tuesday, by the way. Tuesday, you can order from this book. Yay. Okay. Then the retiring products ends Monday. So anything you want from this catalog, by the way, the dies I showed last week sold out. I used those trees, beautiful trees, sold out. Can't get them anymore. So if there's something in this book that's retiring and you want it, I would recommend getting it now, because you never know when it's going to sell out. Lots of the designer papers have started selling out. The stamp sets, too many to even attempt to name have sold out. A lot of the in color products have sold out. So actually, since I checked this, my red X's mean sold out. Bloom Where You're Planted also sold out. And I believe another one. I can't think right now which one it was. Oh, maybe I did mark the rest. Pansy sold out. In Good Taste sold out. You're a Peach sold out. So if there's something on that list that you've been waiting and you're not sure, go ahead, and I would recommend go ahead and get it. You don't want to be disappointed and try to order it and it's gone. So I've added a post on my blog, which is, let me add this on here, stamptherapist.com, up here on the top left of your screen. I've added a post that shows what is left that's retiring. So basically, if it's sold out, like, it's too late. So let's forget about that. Just go to that blog post and see what is still left out of this book. And it shows right there what, if it's discounted, because many of these products have a discounted price as well. You can kind of see where I've written those in my catalog also. So you'll see what's left. Of course, it's left at that moment. By the time you order, if it goes away, it'll tell you. But anyway, so that's how I'm updating you guys about that now. It's with that blog post, and there'll be a link to that in the video today. And then May 2nd, which is Monday, is the last day to order the Here Together bundle, or the stamp set only, or the dies only, which are called Here For You. Monday is the last day to get those. It's also the last day to get the all together 6x6 designer paper. It's the black and white one that has all the hands and just cool geometric and hearts and rainbows patterns. It's really cool. Monday is the very last day, or these are while supplies last if they sell out before Monday. And it's the last day. Let me see if I have, yeah, let me grab it right here. To get this, I'm just going to pull this one, which has notes on it. Waves of the Ocean designer paper, or it's while supplies last. That's not in the new catalog. It's while supplies last, and it ends on Monday. Tuesday, it's gone. So Waves of the Ocean, I think is what it's called, but the Waves designer paper. So don't forget about those things ending. And, you know, your last chance to get them. Let's see who else has commented here. Good, Linda. I'm glad you love the Stampin' Neat ideas. Julie, hello. Good morning. Linda, thanks for sharing. Hey, Peggy. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Chris. Good to see you in Iowa. Okay, so this is what all I'm using today. But over here, reminder, this ends Saturday, April 30th. If you place an online order with me of $25 or more using the host code that's right here on the screen, 6G3FW2DR. Let me show you real quick. This is how you add a host code. And it is important that you add it because Stampin' Up, they don't like to add them after, but usually they will. So when you're ordering and you go to the checkout, right above the pink word checkout, this is at least how it looks on my computer, like a desktop or a laptop, I should say. Right above checkout, you see the word add host code. When you click on that, a little box opens up and you can put in those words there. Go back to this one, those letters, I should say, and numbers right there. You can copy and paste from my emails and blog posts and all that, or you can type it in. So 25 or more with that host code gets you this class packet free, mailed to you in May. We're going to cut, die cut, punch everything we can. This one's a cool fancy fold. Boom. So we'll cut all that for you, like I said, and die cut and emboss and die cut, etc. And then you will stamp and assemble at home with your waves of inspiration stamp set, which will still be available next month to purchase. $25 gets you that. $50 or more also is going to get you a brand new accessory that I don't even own yet, but we can order them May 3rd, called the Solid Faceted Gems. 50 or more gets you the class packet and a full pack of solid faceted gems. And if you want to bump it up to 100 or more, you're also going to get the Calming Camellia stamp set for free. If I do run out of those, I will substitute another free, unused, brand new stamp set. Now, if your order is 150 or more, that's when you stop using the host code. And I still give you all the stuff, but Stampin' Up! Will, in addition to everything I'm giving you, they'll give you at least $15 in free merchandise of your choice when you're checking out. So, okay, that is what's going on. As a reminder, when you come on to the video, even if you're watching replay, go ahead and say hi. That's going to get you entered to win the cards I'm going to make today. On YouTube or Facebook. And then if you also share the video, you'll get a second entry, but only if you comment that you shared, simply because Facebook doesn't show me who shared, nor does YouTube. That's your private information if you want to share a video. So say hi, ask a question, give a tip. Any of that gets you entered into the contest. Okay, the contest to win the cards. Okay, so for my first card today, just one more reminder, I'm using the Artfully Layered Bundle, which of course I'll be physically using here soon. The stamp set, this is in the mini catalog. I feel like on one hand, it's really popular because there's so many samples on Pinterest, and on another hand, it's not as popular for some reason, but I think it should be popular because it's amazing. It has these tropical leaf images, two different ones. One is, I don't know, a shorter, fatter leaf that's only the outline image with the veins drawn and some like circles drawn on there. So you can stamp and color it basically. The other one is more, it has a lot more leaves on it. It's a stem with a lot of leaves. I have no clue what kind of plants these are, but it's the watercolory image that's just solid. And when you stamp it, you get light and dark of the same color. So there's those two leaves. Of course, they have dies that cut them out. And then there's an image that has 7 little, very small leaves that are all solid. So that can be like a background. Obviously, they're supposed to be tropical. They do look like little kind of ivy leaves to me. They're kind of heart-shaped, but super cute there. And then there's a little, like a small background type image. It's about 1 inch by 2 inches. That's just a font. I mean, it's not a font. It's like from a newspaper or something, but I believe, I don't even know if it's English. I don't think it's English. It's very small, so it just makes a nice background. Then we have the greetings. Thank you. Happiest birthday wishes. Sending all the hugs and hey there. And it's one of those mixed fonts where it's part cursive, part not. Love the cursive in that font. And it's a red rubber set. The dies cut out the leaves, the 2 large leaves, but in addition, there's all these individual detailed leaves that you can cut out. And there's a detail leaf to layer on top of the short, squat, solid leaf. So tons of dies here. There's even 2, which I never end up using these dies. I don't know why. It's just me, that just put a background embossed image into your project. And then there's an image, a die that does not match the stamp, but it cuts out those little heart-shaped leaves, like several of them. Okay, so there we go. And I'll talk about whatever I'm going to use over here when I do. For Oceanfront, this is an awesome stamp set that's in our mini catalog that will be in the new annual catalog. And it's called Oceanfront, so it is, you know, a beachy kind of set. However, it's so versatile. You can use it literally with any stamps you have because it has 3 really good, just like watercolory images that of course you can make scenes with. like a sunset, a water and sand, etc. But they can just be backgrounds, which is actually how I'm using them today. Then there's a couple that are kind of like big rocks, but again, they're just blobs with some, they're watercolory, so there's different levels of dark and light, etc. A couple of those, and then 3 different like grass type images, and then one that's just a nice splatter that can be sand or just a splatter. So oceanfront, you do not have to like the ocean to get oceanfront. But the only stamp I'm using today is this big watercolor looking background stamp. It's basically a rectangle, but of course the ends end like a paintbrush would if you went back and forth. So it's basically about a 1.5 by 2.5 rectangle. Okay, so my card base is basic white. It's 5.5. It's a half sheet of basic white, so 5.5 by 8.5. Just going to fold that in half with my bone folder. So a line on the table against my thumbnail, and then do all the bending with my bone folder. For me, that gives me less wrinkles on the inside than if I use my finger, but it's one step down from scoring it with my paper trimmer, which I'm definitely too lazy to do. And then it's going to be a landscape shaped card, but I'm just going to set this aside. Then I have layers here. So I cut my designer paper first at 4 because I didn't know where this card was going, and it actually went really ugly. And then hopefully what I came up with is okay. So I cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. This design, by the way, this is the Artfully Composed designer paper. I love this paper so much, and that is my favorite pattern from this paper. It's called Artfully Composed. Well, I say that's my favorite pattern, but I've used this one the most because this is literally all I have left of it. And I did use some on the cards today. So after doing that, I have 2 little 1.5-inch strips left. So the one that actually must be my favorite, but I'm not showing this second, it's an evening evergreen with just these little, like a little background image, a very tiny one that's repeated over and over. It's hard to describe, in a light, like almost a light white type color. Why do I love that one so much? Because it's just a great background. Like, it doesn't even have to be tropical in any way. It looks great with so many things. It can be masculine, it can be feminine, etc. The back of that one is a real busy tropical leaves image. But the other one that's my favorite as far as big tropical patterns is this one that I'm using on this card. And so it's got, it's white background with the little, or a little cursive font, tiny script background in pale papaya, and then a bunch of leaves on it in different colors and sizes in pear pizzazz, just jade, and evening evergreen. The back of that we're not using is Bermuda Bay with white diagonal stripes, and it's distressed. Then we've got more patterns with lots of busy leaves in all the colors. And then the back is just a nice plain, not plain, but not tropical leaves, pear pizzazz, more busy leaves. Back is an awesome, which I will be using on a card for sure. Just white with black tiny pinpoint polka dots all over it. Busy leaves background, or the back of this one is pear pizzazz with the little white tiny font. I doubt anyone could read this, but it's like a script on it. Another busy leaves one, and then just a distressed calypso coral. So this paper, of course, will be retiring. And again, I would recommend you get that now to avoid it being on a while supplies last list. Okay, so that's the paper I'm using. The design I just told you, 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then throughout my designing, I decided I wanted to mat it. So I cut a piece of evening evergreen, 1/8 inch larger than that. So it's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And that will go right behind that designer paper. Let me show you. I needed an evening evergreen leaf for this card from the dies. So I just cut that from that evening evergreen layer there. And then from the paper I just showed you, I die cut the 2 solid short fat leaves. They match the stamp, but I didn't use it for the stamped. I just die cut out designer paper leaves. The first one is that pattern that's my actual favorite because I used it so much, the evergreen with the little pattern on it. And the second one is that pale papaya with the script. So that's this die again, which matches the stamp set. I'm actually using it later in that way. Then there is this die, which I do not understand Stampin' Up's logic. I'm sure they had a reason, but it coordinates with the solid leaf, and it's basically the veins of the leaf that it die cuts out. But notice how when you cut with the blade down, they're opposite directions. So what that means is when you die cut this out, well, one or the other is going to have to be flipped over to the back. So the way I did it, I cut the solid leaf with the design I wanted facing up, which means the little tail here is, you know, curving off to my right. Then when I cut these 2 solid cardstocks with the veins, Evening Evergreen and Pear Pizzazz, if I just lay those directly on the leaf, they're going the wrong direction. So you have to flip them over backwards. The reason I don't understand this is because the back is always a little more messy, especially if you have used plates like me. So this is the smoother one. This is the front side. That's the back side. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to live with it, but you have to flip it over backwards. So FYI, when I start, I was like, why? And I know you could layer them off center and it wouldn't matter, but why? I don't know. Or I could have cut this with a pattern I wanted facing up, the solid one, and then this would not need to be backwards. So there you go. You're way too TMI for the day. Okay. I'm missing my information sheet with these dies. I'll have to investigate that further later. Okay, so let me grab my stamps. For this card, I'm using that solid oceanfront stamp. And then also Happiest Birthday Wishes. That's a nice long skinny greeting. And then the scripty background image. I'm going to stamp on a piece of basic white. So basically what I wanted to focus on for today's video as far as retiring goes is 3 of my favorite retiring label dies. So Tasteful Labels is the one I'm using now. It's retiring. It's While Supplies Last. I will also be using Stitch So Sweetly and Ornate Frames, retiring while supplies last. So Tasteful Labels is a really, really good one. It has many different sizes, as you can see, of label dies. They all either have stitching or beveled edges. So this one is the largest, sort of a, it's more oblong like a rectangle, but it's not a rectangle. It's got a design in it. And it has the beveled edge. I cut that in basic white. But you can see all these other patterns. There's circle or designs, circles, more rectangle ones, banners, like it's awesome. So if you don't have that yet, it's retiring and it's While Supplies Last. So that's basic white. And then I also have 2 pieces here of the frayed ribbon, which yay, will be in our new catalog. It's white ribbon. It's frayed is what they call it. It's like a soft winter sweater or scarf. I love it so much, but it matches with spring and tropical projects for whatever reason. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on this card in Pale Papaya and Evening Evergreen. I need my scratch paper to go off the edges a little bit. You don't want to stamp on your table, so scratch paper underneath. Now I have a very hard, firm table here, but if you don't, it's going to be real important to put something underneath when you stamp, like for example, this Stampin' Pierce mat for only $5 in the catalog and online store. That would go under your scratch paper on top, and then you would stamp on that surface especially for a stamp like this. When you stamp with a super solid, this is from Oceanfront, photopolymer stamp, and your table is flexible, so it gives, it's bumpy, it's uneven, any of those things, you're going to get a terrible image. Now, if it's really hard, like a countertop, you're probably good to go like me. So the foam pierce mat is really good for that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this. I'm not really using it as an oceany image, even though they're both tropical sets. I'm using it as a background. So right in the center of this basic white label, I'm just going to stamp that image. Another trick you can do, or a tip, I should say, for these big, super solid images is pick it up and let the paper stick to it, and you can place your hand underneath and rub to transfer the ink all the way. So there's that. Love that image. And then I'm going to stamp right on top of that, again, in Pale Papaya ink, these little words here. So I'm just inking it up very gently, of course, tap, tap, tap. Do not press hard. You don't want ink on the edges, and you don't want ink on your clear block. And I'm going to stamp that over here on the left. And to the right, I'm re-inking every time, and back to the left. So it just makes this less plain, fills it in. And then I'll just add my greeting on top of all of that in Evening Evergreen. And that will be all of my stamping for this card. Happiest birthday wishes. Tap, tap, tap. Right across the middle. Just hold it for a few seconds, but don't rock your stamp, of course. And there's that. Love it. And so since I've pre-die cut everything and all that, we're ready to assemble this card. Catch up. Do you use, let me read this question. Do you use the ornate shapes dies a lot? I'm on the bordering. Jean, do you mean this one, ornate frames? If so, I do, but I personally, I'm just like telling the truth here. I don't like super detailed dies like these two frames, so I only use the outline ones. Really, I mean, I have used these before. Not as much though. I just don't like poking all that paper out every time. And that's more so because when we do it, me and Landa and Karen, we're doing, 20, 30, 40 or more at a time. So, but yes, if you're talking about ornate frames, I do. And again, it's a deal where these sizes fit certain images really well. So let me see if that's what you were asking about. Kadra, I love, love, love this suite. I know Valley Chick, she says it is weird. Has anyone else noticed? You only, in my opinion, well, some people are more observant than me. I only noticed it when I started using it. And I was like, wait, what am I? And I literally had to think for a minute if I was being not smart and just not using that properly. I'm like, no, I don't think it's me this time. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal and attach my designer paper to my Evening Evergreen cardstock. So it's got a skinny little border. So I just, sheesh, I need to be a little more observant of, yeah, see, I laid it crooked, of how I lay it down. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Another good reason not to, this adhesive works really well. Like I can peel it up a little, but it's going to stick. Like the card's not going to fall apart. But that's another good reason not to use a crazy amount of adhesive. I'll make this white bigger so I can have a white background here. Don't use a crazy amount of adhesive unless you're have a situation where something is very bumpy or whatever, because Stampin' Seal holds so well. Your projects just don't come apart, even here in Texas where we have humidity and all that. But also, you can fix your little mistakes most times. Okay, that's a lot better. Then that will go on my card front. I'm not going to be wrapping any ribbon around or anything like that, so I'm safe to attach this down. Again, same thing with the skinny border. And that's because of how I cut the paper, which I gave those measurements at the beginning. Then let me put these leaves together. So I'll grab my silicone craft sheet and put adhesive on the back. These could have been cut, these veins, with adhesive sheets on them. That actually would have been a good idea, but I didn't. So, oh, and let me grab a sample. I think I have, where did I put it? Oh, shoot. I don't know where I put it. I thought I kept it. It was a rejected card, but I mean, I don't even have the card, but I have made a leaf. You can also, when you die cut these detail leaves, and if I have it in my stacks over here, we'll come to it at that time. When you die cut these detail leaves with the veins, there's two sections, one on the left and one on the right, that falls out, that you can actually glue back on these solid leaves, and it looks really cool too. It's a different look. So if I find that, I'll show you. Otherwise, you can test it out yourself. So I'll just place the backwards leaf on top of that one. So I did on the Evergreen DSP, the Pear Pizzazz leaf, and then on the Pale Papaya, I'm going to place the Evening Evergreen veins. Notice I'm not using a ton of adhesive. I did just do what I recommend not to do. When you're doing this, you need to hold down the section you're adding adhesive to so it doesn't rip it off, because you're always doing this on skinny little pieces. And I put it on the wrong side. Hold, please. I think I have another one over here. Whew. See, because of the confusion, I put it on the wrong side. And now this thing won't quit sticking to my finger. Okay, adhesive on the good side, the way I'm doing it. Anyway, just little bits here and there. It's going to be fine. It'll all stick down. It's not going to come up. Okay, so Evergreen on Papaya, good to go there. And then on my greeting, what I did was pre-cut myself 2 pieces of this frayed white ribbon. They're approximately 4 3/4 inches each. Just how I like to do it, I made one end cut straight and one at an angle. And then I'm going to just fold the ribbon back and forth. So it's 1, 2, 3. Actually, I always mess that up. I should fold after I put my adhesive, see, because it's going to fall apart. I'm going to put adhesive where I'm going to place the ribbon on the back of my greeting there. Place adhesive in the top left corner. And then from the front view, I'm going to stick the ribbon on there. And if you don't like it, peel it off and do it again. That's the beauty also of this technique with the ribbon, because it always will peel off. I want it at a more of an angle. Okay, there we go. If you need to attach that down a little bit stronger on the back side, feel free. And then bottom right of that back of the greeting, I'm going to fold the ribbon the exact same way, but it's going to go on that bottom right. And of course, you would use way, way, way more ribbon if you just folded it back and forth like a full piece. So that's going to save you ribbon there. It gives you that cool background behind your image to, you know, just make it look a little cooler. And that's going to go in the center of the card here. And then my leaves will just go the papaya one bottom left, the evergreen top right. So this is a pretty simple card, actually. and they're flat. These leaves are. This is the most simple card today as far as how it looks. Not a lot going on to me, although anyway, not a lot yet. Busy patterns, so maybe. But anyway, basically, hopefully you guys still like it. I've actually done a lot of designing with this set. So once you've started doing a lot of designing, you're like, I need new ideas in your brain. And, you know, I did do a whole Stamp-A-Stack with it, which I thought those cards were really awesome. And of course we did the cruise. We used these for several projects on our cruise. Anyway, so I've used it a lot, but hopefully you like the additional ideas today. I'm just cutting up the edges of my mini Stampin' Dimensionals because of course you want to use those up. They're valuable. And so I would have used mini dimensionals here instead if I had them. And I'm just using 4 in the 4 corners and 1 in the middle, but definitely making sure I overlap the ribbon as well with some of them to just hold it down even more securely. So I've attached the leaves flat, and then I'm going to add this greeting right in the center on top of everything. Again, it's landscape. And then the last thing to do, and then this card will be finished, is just add some little embellishments. They are the faux sea glass shapes. They're so cute. They, of course, are within that suite of products. I believe, let me look, because now I can't remember if they're going to carry over. Where is this? I had to write notes to myself. I was like, what did I write back there? Page 34. And we're basing, page 33. We're basing what's retiring on what we see in the new catalog. So the number 3, the faux sea glass shapes are in the new catalog. Also the vellum layering designs is in the new catalog, and that ribbon, the white frayed ribbon. But of course the bundle and dies are not, the stamp set dies and bundle are not, and the designer paper is not. But cool, these faux sea glass are carrying over, which means you'll still be able to get them. And they literally look like just sea glass. Now I colored one there, Evening Evergreen, and then I didn't like it on whatever card I tried it on, so just left it there for future use. But I ended up using the clear ones. I don't know if they call them clear or white, but it could be either. They're kind of cloudy white sea glass. There's also, I believe, jade, and let's see what it says. Sorry, because they're really light, so they might be a different color than I'm thinking. Yeah, they're calling it just jade, old olive, and white. Okay, so I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to pick these up. I'm just going to use, kind of like 3 of the different sizes and shapes here down in the bottom left corner of this greeting. Maybe this little tiny one here. And there is the finished card. Ooh, ah. So this stamp set, by the way, you can totally use it without it being tropical, just by using the background and these words and mix it and match it with other things you have. Like we could do the same exact word, greeting image here with different background papers, and it wouldn't be tropical at all. Just take off the sea glass. So a really versatile stamp set, I think. I just love it. Okay, so there's that first card. And here's the original one I made. Let me grab supplies while we're having that on the screen. This next card is also, I think, kind of simple, but I loved how it turned out. So on this one, I'm using the basic white card base. Let me figure out where to put all my stuff. Okay. And let me just catch up with anybody over here. Hello, Simone in Luxembourg. Awesome. Kadra, thanks for sharing. Thank you, Facebook user. Simply elegant. Simple is elegant. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to other Facebook user. And thank you, Stella. Awesome. Okay. So card base is basic white. Let me go ahead and fold that. And then this one's going to be portrait. Then we have a layer of evening evergreen, 4 by 5 1/4. No. I lied. It's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And you can see I die cut a leaf from it. And that's one of the other dies that's just like a palm sort of die that stands alone. Then the basic white next layer is 4 by 5 1/4. So it's going to have the same skinny border as the previous card. And then a scrap of Pear Pizzazz. And then a label that I pre-die cut in basic white from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. Another one that I mentioned already that's on the retiring list. They are really awesome. There's a bunch of rectangles that are scalloped with stitches. They all nest inside each other if you want. And then 4 other shapes. And so out of those 4, I'm using the second from the largest die there that are basically label shaped dies. And they all 4 of those have stitch marks as well. So Stitch So Sweetly, love it. Okay, so for my stamping, I am going to stamp on the 2 pieces of white and the Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to, you see how old the scratch paper is. It's got retired celebration stamps on it. I'm going to use, I think only, oh no, not true. I'm going to use Evening Evergreen and Pear Pizzazz ink on this card. And I'm going to use that same oceanfront watercolor wash background. I'm looking for my cleaner. I'm going to clean it. As well as the, I'm trying to grab them here, the shorter, fatter leaf stamp and the Sending All the Hugs greeting. Okay, so I'm going to use my Simply Chamois to clean the oceanfront background image. And that's going to get stamped here at the bottom or toward the bottom of this portrait 4 by 5 1/4 basic white in Pear Pizzazz ink. So centered left to right and not quite all the way to the bottom, maybe 3/4 of an inch or so up from the bottom. And it's going long, like horizontal. Then right on top of that and on my scrap of pear, I'm going to stamp this short leaf in Evening Evergreen. So I'm not pressing hard. I'm tapping a lot to get good coverage. But if I were pressing hard, you would see ink all over the red rubber edges here, which is bad. Plus, if you press too hard on our foam ink pads, you get ink. I'm sorry, you push the ink off of your stamps, which you don't want to do. So it's just tapping, but you can tap as much as you want. And then I'm going to just stamp this leaf kind of at an angle here right on top of that background image. And then I'm going to re-ink it and stamp it again on my Pear Pizzazz scrap. This is to die cut out, so it can be any direction. It doesn't have to be straight or whatever. And then the greeting is Sending All the Hugs. It's just going to go right in the middle of this white label in Evening Evergreen ink. There we go. So cute. Okay, so I just need to die cut that leaf out and then we can make this card. I know, Stella, I'm going to miss Stitch so sweetly too. I feel like I kind of personally abandoned Stitched So Sweetly when Scalloped Contours came out. But now I'm like, oh, I do. I still love you. I want you back. Anyway, I've been using it more and more lately, even before the list came out. And now I'm like, darn it, I didn't give it enough love. Anyway, so I agree with you totally on that. Hey, Diane in North Carolina. And thank you, Helen. Thanks, Jean. Yeah, Oceanfront definitely is just a great, like, in addition to making the ocean cards, it's just a great background. Okay. I'm like stalling because I'm thinking I need to grab my machine real quick. So if you happen to be new to crafting and you're like, what does she mean she pre-die cut? What does that mean? All it means is I took my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the die, which is here. And it comes with everything you need, of course, to be able to use it. Platform 1, plate 2, and then these are number 3, these clear ones, but mine aren't numbered. It comes with all that, plus what you need for embossing to do anything that Stampin' Up sells. And then you place your paper on there, whether it's stamped or just a scrap of white, for example, for a label like this. Paper next, then the die with the blade facing down, and if it needs to be aligned with the image like this, you do that. And then the second clear number 3 on top. This is for die cutting. There's different instructions for embossing. So I'm going to die cut this leaf out. And so this is what I was talking about with the question about, do I use the ornate frames? That one little hole right there that's cut out of this leaf, that's simple. Just poke it out with your piercing tool, or I prefer to use a toothpick because I'm always stabbing myself with the piercing tool when I use it this way, like that. But I'm going to do it over here to the side of the machine. You always want to poke that out before you cut again, because otherwise the paper gets embedded in there and then the blade can't cut anymore. So that's why with the detail ones, I'm like, do I really want to poke out 50 pieces of paper 30 times in a row? Maybe not. So, but anyway, simple. That's how you die cut. Good to go. And now we can put this card together. So you can see that's what I did, of course, on the die cutting with this one. Ran it through, and there's our leaf. Okay, so this card, and I am going to use some ribbon here on this card as well. The ribbon is the Evening Evergreen Window Pane Check. And I will check real quick. I think it's in the new catalog. Page 15. I actually have to thank April for April, my retreat partner, is the one who marked her catalog with what was retiring, and then I copied her. So number 3, window pane check is in the new catalog. Yay. Also those brass butterflies, which we're not using, but hey, they are. Okay, so I'm going to attach the basic white, the large one, to the Evening Evergreen, just like the first card. Skinny border. And then I'm okay to go ahead and attach this to my card base. You just always want to make sure, look at your sample or what you're copying, or think about your design. Am I going to tie ribbon all the way around or wrap ribbon around the back? If not, you're safe to glue this down to the card base. If you're not sure yet, don't glue it down. Ask how I know. And then basically the way this card's going to lay out is the greeting's going to go up here on the top left. The little palm die cut Evening Evergreen on the right, top-ish right, so it's kind of at an angle there. And then the Pear Pizzazz leaf that we just die cut out goes on top of that die cut one, just like this. But I did tuck it under the greeting because I wanted the greeting to show. So now that I know how I want it laid out, I know I need to attach these two leaves first and the greeting last. So let me grab that silicone again for the skinny detail leaf in Evening Evergreen. I'm not putting very much adhesive, A, because it doesn't need it, and B, because I'm going to attach this pear leaf on top of it with Stampin' Dimensionals, so that's going to secure it even more. And that'll be plenty for such a skinny amount of paper. So I'm just placing that greeting there just for a visual for me. But I'm going to tuck under it Stampin' Dimensionals. This was laying over here where I have my hand. And these were sticking up. And it kind of, I thought it was a spider for a second. FYI. I think I need about 3 dimensionals. Okay, I missed the mark there. On this leaf, like a triangle. I mean, you can use as many as you want, but I'm going to use 3. Don't forget, if you want a chance to win these cards, just comment on the video. If you want a second chance to win these cards, just share the video and comment that you shared. And thank you for doing that, because that helps me in my business. I still did it wrong. I always get confused when I do things from the back. Like I put adhesive in the wrong corner or whatever. Anyway, that's just one of my little things I do wrong. So what I was trying to do is only put tape runner where my greeting is going to overlap this raised up leaf. But of course I put it here instead of the bottom where it needs to be. But so I have 3 dimensionals on here in the other 3 spots that are not overlapping this already raised up spot. And my greeting's just going to go up there in the top left, overlapping that leaf some. And last but not least, I'll just add a window pane check, Evening Evergreen window pane check bow. Okay, so I have this scrap. I usually do it from the roll, but this scrap was actually, the truth is, after I finished all these cards, I knew I had scraps somewhere and I found them all. And I had a fully made bow and I was like, whatever, I can't use that for the video because I need to show how to make it. But long story short, I happen to have this random scrap that's perfect for a bow. So I'm not going to do it from the roll. So I'm going to do a bunny ears bow, 2 bunny ears, lots of space in between here in the middle, 1 ear in each hand. And the ribbon is flat as it can be. It's not all twisted and turned and whatever, because that's not, your bow won't look as pretty if you do. The tails are basically equal and there is a tail on each side. Then I just take my right hand, go over my left, and that same right loop gets pushed down into the rabbit hole, and then you pull. And of course the bow looks crazy, but you fix it. At least mine always does. Just fix it. It's super simple. That one side is wanting to remain the same size no matter what I do. Let me see. Oh, I did want this bow smaller, so I'm going to pull those tails even more. And that's pretty good. I wanted it smaller because I wanted it at the bottom of the die cut pear leaf. But I didn't want it so big that it covered up my stamping underneath. So I'm going to trim these tails and it'll be how I want it to look anyway. Like that. And this is the ribbon that I found out through many cards I made that at least for me, glue dots do not work on this ribbon. I don't know why, but it falls right off. So I use my Stampin' Seal instead, and I just put a blob of it on the back of the bow. It's I think the only ribbon I've ever had that the glue dots don't work on. And again, maybe it's just me, but it was proven so many times that I was like, okay, I'm not doing glue dots with this ribbon anymore. So there we go. Marcia, no problem. Helen, by the way, thanks for watching on YouTube. I'm still trying to grow that whole YouTube area, so thank you very much. So there's the second card. Thanks, Pam. Thank you, Jean. And thanks, Marcia. Yay, Tommy. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so one more card to go. If you want to win these cards, just make a comment, even if you're watching replay. And whew, I got a lot of stuff over here. Just make a comment, even if you're watching replay, to get a chance to win these cards. And if you share it, what am I trying to say? I'm thinking too many things. Oh, comment that you shared so I can enter you again. Okay. Grabbing all my supplies for the last card. Also, don't let me forget, I want to show these extra samples at the end. If anyone can remember that for me. Hopefully I won't forget. And then, so for this card, I'll tell the cardstock in a minute. I'm using that large solid leaf I described at the beginning. I'm also going to use the background words. And I need to clean them because we used them on the, I think, the first card in Pale Papaya. And then I'm using Thank You. The card base is Pear Pizzazz. This is my favorite card, by the way. Really like how it turned out. Card base is Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to fold that in half. Okay. This will be a portrait card. And then I have a piece of the designer paper again, the Artfully Composed. This is the piece I showed you guys that has the polka dots on it. It's solid white with perfectly evenly spaced. So this isn't like artistic or whatever. Little pinpoint dots. And it's 4 by 5 1/4 inches, like the normal size. And then I have the back side of that one, another little strip that is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And that strip is going to go toward the right side, right on top of the polka dots. But I'll leave about a 1/2 inch of polka dot showing on the right when I glue it down. And what's on the back is it's got like a little very light Pale Papaya background image, and then sort of a smaller scale of Just Jade, Pear Pizzazz, and Evening Evergreen, different shaped leaves. And then last but not least on designer papers is a 1 3/4 by 4 strip of the vellum. It is the, what do they call it? Layering Designs vellum. And this paper is, I just showed it in the catalog. It's in the mini catalog, but it will be in our new catalog. And it's awesome. It does not need to be tropical in any way. So it can go with so many things. So the patterns in it, vellum is like a sort of see-through paper, if you don't know what vellum is. And this is 12 by 12, and you've got a map, one with black lines of the map and one with white lines of the map. It's one of each design, but I forget how many sheets. I think you get 2 of each sheet. So 2 black ones, 2 white ones, etc. And then the one I'm using, which is sort of like what looks like a dictionary or book print in black, same design in white. And then the last one is, of course, one black, one white of this. It's like a square, basically, of a scripty font that's incredibly tiny. I don't know what it says, but it's like you took that on your computer and copied and pasted it, turning it 1/4 of a turn every time. So it's just like these pattern of squares that are a script. It makes a really cool background, black and white. Okay, so that's Vellum Layering Designs. Love it. It can be used with anything, really. So that strip I just told you about is going to go straight across the bottom, maybe an inch. Let me measure over here. Maybe 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. approximately, it's fine. Okay, so that's that part. I have some scraps of basic white here for some leaves I'm going to stamp. And then I have a scrap, not a scrap, I have a pre-die cut label from, of course, the other one, Ornate Labels, Ornate Frames, which are retiring dies that we've talked about a few times already. So I'm using sort of the largest straight line label shape from this set, and it's going to fit that thank you perfectly. And that's basic white. Okay, so for my stamping, first thing I want to do is stamp this leaf in Evening Evergreen. It's the watercolory one that's solid. Just on a scrap of white, I am going to die cut it out. And then I'm going to clean this stamp. I'm going to tap it on scratch paper first. I like to try to take off as much ink as I can on scratch paper before cleaning here, because it's always going to get a bunch of ink on there, especially with a dark color like that. And that helps me not have to clean this as often. But your Simply Chamois, you just run it under the sink while squeezing. I do hot water, but whatever temperature you like, probably. And that's when it gets so much ink in it that you're actually putting ink back on your stamps when you clean them instead of removing it. And then you use it again and it'll get all stained up like this, and that's perfectly fine. It's like $6, I think. They do not come with these cases, but we sell these cases for very inexpensive. You get 4 in a pack for like $8, I believe. And of course, this is an old cruise gift that we gave away one year with a chamois inside. I love it. Okay, so now that it's clean, I'm going to do the kissing technique. Ooh, ah. And hey, Penny. Hey, Mary Ellen in Montana. Martha, thank you for sharing. Diana, thank you for sharing. Debbie, I'm glad you like this. I think it's awesome. This bundle, this whole thing. Jean, thank you very much. Okay, so kissing technique. I think there's other ways you can do this technique, but this is the way I'm doing it today. So I'm not saying this is the one and only kissing technique. I'm going to ink up my image, which is the leaf stamp, the solid one. You need a solid stamp as one of your images for this one and a detail stamp for the other. I'm going to ink it up in Just Jade ink. Really well, of course. And then I'm going to ink up these little scripty background image in a darker color. So Evening Evergreen. Really well. Which doesn't mean press hard. It just means tap a lot. Get the edges where the ink is, etc. And then I'm going to stamp that right on top of this leaf. I'm starting at the top and I'm going to move my way down. So on top of the actual rubber stamp. So I've got the stamp laying upside down on the table. And I'm just repeating this. Yes, I might pick up a little bit of Just Jade ink onto this background stamp as I go, but it's a lighter color than my evergreen, so I'm not worried it's going to hurt it. And then I'm going to, after I go all the way down, I'm going to immediately stamp that onto my white cardstock, nice and firm, several seconds. And you get this really cool image. And it does add a lot of detail compared to the one without the extra background. So now it's a little light at the top there, but that's just whatever I did at the time, but that's totally fine. It sort of gives it a distressed look anyway, so it's not going to be perfectly the same. Now, if you had a larger image, that, because I'm using a skinny one that I had to stamp like 5 times, which is fine. But if you had a larger stamp that was the same size or bigger as the original leaf, you might get a more even coverage. You might not. It's fine though. But anyway, it's really cool. So kissing technique, don't forget about that one. Don't forget to clean the stamp off before you go back to your Just Jade if you want a second one, which I don't need a second one. But if I did, I would need to clean that off because I don't want to transfer all that dark ink to my Jade pad. I'll just clean it off. Let me see what color my greeting is. It is Evergreen. And I'll die cut. So I'm not actually using this leaf on the card today, this pre-done one, that was to show you the difference between just Stampin' and Just Jade versus with the background image. So let me add this greeting to my ornate frame die in Evening Evergreen. Says thank you. And then let me just die cut these leaves out real quick. And then we'll be ready to assemble. So I really like how this card turned out. But as a reminder, I said this already, there's so many samples using this set, like out on Pinterest and stuff. But yet I also still get the vibe that a lot of people don't own it. I think it's awesome. And a lot more personal than just considering it like something tropical. And of course, I feel like it's fine to give somebody a tropical themed card, even if they don't even like the tropics or whatever. Like all these cards today, I think are generic enough. The machine is a good thing to get in the starter kit, by the way. If you want to join and be able to get a discount on all your purchases and be in my team, and there's no obligation. You don't have to buy or even participate in the team or anything, but you can. We have our Facebook group and meetings and swaps and monthly make and takes that are optional and all that stuff. But anyway, the machine is $120 right now, and you get it $125 with the starter kit for only $99 plus tax, so free shipping. You would pay close to $150 for the machine with tax and shipping normally. And I think it's going up to $125 in the new catalog, just a very small price increase. So you could still get it with the starter kit. You just wouldn't have that $5 extra left. Okay, so let me, ow. I'm glad that wasn't the piercer. I just stabbed myself with a toothpick anyway. I know better. I should know better. So again, where did I put that one? I was going to bring up the solid. Here it is. So just to compare the two leaves, not that there's anything wrong with the Just Jade one that doesn't have the words on it, but just to show that huge difference it makes with a small extra step. Hey, Della, thanks for sharing. Penny, I'm glad you love that technique. Good morning, Della. And Marcia, glad you love it. Cindy loves the kissing technique. Martha, extra background on the leaf. Yes. I'm glad I randomly remembered that technique when I started planning these cards. It's old. Like we've been doing it for years. I'm sure you remember it, Martha, from back in the day. Do I have ribbon on this card? Yes. Actually, let me look in my little bag of tricks. I said I had a pre-made bow that I couldn't use for this video, but I can because I just showed you how to tie a bow. So there we go. Okay, so we'll put this together real quick. I'm going to attach the strip of designer paper that just ran out to that right side of the other designer paper, like I mentioned already, flat. Then I'm going to refill my adhesive. So when you refill your adhesive, take advantage while you have this holder open and pull off any excess. You'll see that adhesive that's in both sides of where the adhesive comes out in the holder. That stuff can be one of your problems if your adhesive is not advancing correctly, because it's a chunk and it's sticky. So your adhesive is sticking to it as it comes out instead of coming off on your card. So I just always do that every time I put a new one in, and that, for me, that pretty much takes care of that problem. And then, of course, I just took the old one out, put the new one in, and then there's never sticky right here when you first start a new adhesive. So you can either, which I didn't, I should have saved that piece so I could show y'all. If I had that piece exposed where there's adhesive on it, I can start this on that sticky. And when I pull, it's going to grab and pull it like my hand would. But anyway, I'm just going to have to hand advance it until I literally feel that sticky on my thumb there. And then it's good to go with Stampin' Seal. I need to remember to put a new refill over here. I always like to have one right there by the video so you don't have to wait for me to go dig it out of the other 5 places I keep those in this room. So I'm going to add my 4 by 5 1/4 designer paper to the front. And then these 2 leaves. So I'm using the Evening Evergreen leaf. Oh no, sorry, I need to add the vellum next. Okay, so, but let me tell you this. So the vellum is going to go across the bottom like I mentioned already. These 2 leaves are going to go kind of over here to the right. The evergreen will go down first. It'll be a little taller to the left, and the jade will be more lower and a little bit facing to the, I think I said it wrong. Evergreen's facing right. Jade is kind of facing left. The reason I'm saying all that is because I need to know where these are going to be to put adhesive on my vellum. Because I don't like it to show on the front of my project. So I'm only going to put it right there where it's kind of going to be hidden under these leaves. It probably wouldn't show anyway if you put it on the edges, but it can, adhesive can show through vellum. So I just like to avoid that if possible. And is this glued down? No. Is that going to hurt anything in my whole giving this card process? In my opinion, no. So if that bothers you, just glue it down. Okay, so let's put the jade leaf up here toward the right, kind of not all the way to the top, maybe 3/4 of an inch from the top, flat, and then dimensionals on the kissed one. I remember, well, I don't know if it was the first time I ever heard about the kissing technique. I don't know if it was the first time, but I remember this Stampin' Up employee did it on stage one time, and he had this whole thing. I just grabbed a bigger stamp because it works better for this story. And he was like, it's talking about the love story when stamp meets stamp, and he like made a kissing sound. It was very funny. Does anyone remember that? It might have been Brian Pilling, but it might have been a different Stampin' Up employee. But I always remember that at a convention or something. Anyway, dimensionals on my cute little jade leaf. I'm just going to kind of see where I want it there based on my greeting at the top left. There's that. And then greeting also is going to get dimensionals. Ow. I've been like way worse lately where I almost cut myself when I use scissors and stuff. Like I'll cut too far and almost cut my thumbnail is what it was just now. Okay, so thank you is up here at the top toward the left. And I tucked it under that just jade leaf a little bit. I need to add my bow, which, like I said, I already had one tied from I don't know what, but I found it in my like stack of scraps. I'll just use Stampin' Seal on that. It's going to go at the bottom of the jade leaf. And then to finish this one off, I just want to add some of the white faux sea glass. So I've got my piercer, take your pick tool, I should say. And they're just going to go down here on the bottom left of the greeting. Just using 3 different shapes and sizes. And that is that card. So it would have been fine and no one would ever know the difference if you made your card with the solid jade leaf. But just to show the difference there. So it does add a nice amount of detail with not really too much extra work. So there is the last card. Yes, cute and simple. Thank you, Tommy. Landa remembers. She said she thinks it was Brian Pilling too, he's still an employee with Stampin' Up. And I just remember it being so funny, like just the way he delivered the joke basically was really good. Okay, so here are the 3 cards from today. You can, let me show Landa's comment there. And she's got the laughy face. You can have a chance to win those if you comment on the card today. As well as, of course, share the video, but then comment that you shared. Any questions about any of those events and things I talked about, of course, you can contact me directly by email or Facebook Messenger. But also, I would recommend joining my email newsletter and my VIP Facebook group. Both of those places where I post a lot of info about upcoming events and registration links and what's included with fees and prices and all that stuff. Oh, see, I already forgot about my extra samples. Good thing I randomly saw them here. Marcia, thank you very much. Thanks, Tommy. Marcia, I'm glad you thought that was funny. Helen on YouTube, thank you very much. Hey, Sherry. Bye, Jennifer. Thank you, Leanne. I love this set as well. Let's see. Ramona, thank you on YouTube. Diane, thank you very much. And Debbie, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you love them. Thanks, Martha. Yes, lots of green. If you're a green person, this is your sweet. Definitely. Catherine, such a good card with a masculine touch. Very true. You can definitely go masculine with these cards, especially these two. My opinion, just take out a little bit extra of that pale papaya maybe there. Thank you. Yes, Tommy. Oh, yes, Tommy, paper and ribbon share. You definitely can get in on that. Just a reminder that I do have my recipe cards. They will be posted on my blog in just a few minutes at 11 a.m. Central. It's 10:45 right now. That you can print or just look at online, and they give you the basics of all the supplies you need. They don't list every cardstock. That's the only thing. No, they do list cardstock. What do I leave off? I leave off things like paper trimmer, like basic tools. Those are listed at the bottom of the blog post. Your trimmer, your bone folder, take your pick tool, things like that. But the basics, what stamps, what dies, etc. And if y'all ever see errors on this, just let me know and I can fix it immediately. Well, if I'm home. But because I have had errors and someone messaged me, which was very helpful, and I was able to fix it immediately. But I've got the measurements here and the supplies, so you could use this later to recreate and then combine it with the video for instruction. Also on the blog, you'll have the full supply list, the photos, and there's something else I can't think. Link to video, but you don't need that. Supply, whatever. Measurements maybe is what I'm thinking of, which are also here. Okay. Here are some samples from that cruise we did in January, which was very awesome. This was one of, and it uses this product we're using today. This was one of our gifts. Actually, we received a passport holder. And so there's just, again, another use of the dies, which I must have figured out that those dies were backwards at the time. I don't remember, but I can tell on this one, the leaf, the solid leaf is flipped over backwards and the pretty detail is on front. Anyway, there's that one. April had done a fun folds, I think we called it, class with these products. So there's one of her cards. I don't remember how this ties. I need to look at the picture because my ribbon looks weird. But anyway, it was cute when it was all tied up. This card, super cute. This one, lots of those dies, those detail dies. Just a neat little fold there, and one more fun fold there. And then I think our t-shirt, I don't remember what was in this actually, but some gift was inside this bag. So just using some of the designer paper there with our names. We made a sampler This was our sampler with these products. By the way, those alphabets are retiring, those alphabet dies. So don't forget about that. Playful alphabet dies are retiring. They might be discounted. They might. I can't remember. But again, go to my blog, stamptherapist.com, and the post before today's post is all about the whole list of what is still available. And if it's on sale, the price will be there. And then we made a couple of scrapbook pages, again, with the alphabet that's retiring. I love it so much. Getaway there on that scrapbook page. And this scrapbook page, this Just Jade and Gold braided ribbon goes so well with this whole suite of products. We used it in the cruise a lot. Okay, those are unrelated. I guess I just pulled out all the those are from the cruise as well, but they're not related to the products today. So anyway, that was just to give you some extra ideas using these products, and they happen to be from our last stamping cruise, which y'all can join us on the next one. Hey, Kathy. Oh my goodness, I'm combining Kathy and Kitten. Hey, Kathy in Houston, good to see you. Susie says, love your recipe cards. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate that. Thank you, Cindy. Let's see. Oh, Tommy, I need to write your name down to get you that info because, you know, if I don't write it down, it'll be like you never said it. This is my outline for the video. Tommy, share. I'll send you that link in case you decided to sign up for sure. Thank you, Helen. Hey, Lisa in Chile, PA. Thank you very much. It's not chilly here. We're back. We're full on. I think it's going to be close to 80 today, if not 80. And I think the rest of the week is 80s. So, I mean, maybe I'm not complaining. Maybe I am complaining. I don't know. Let me see if I can. There we go. But I wouldn't want it to be chilly either. So it's like, whatever. But good to see you on YouTube, Lisa. All right. Thank you guys very much. Comment if you haven't yet, just so you can get a chance to win these 3 cards. Those 3 cards. Am I pointing right? No. This way. These 3 cards, which I'm pointing totally not the way they would be in real life. But anyway, make that comment, share, and let me know if y'all have any questions. I'll see you next week on Thursday. At some point in May is our retreat. And so I'll be doing a video on a different day that week, but I'll warn you ahead of time. And sign up for my emails. You'll get an email at 1 p.m. Central today with like a video recap, as well as links to all of the events I told you about today. So everybody have a great day. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and I will see y'all next Thursday. Thank you. Goodbye.